Through wellness practices, you're showing up every day as the person that you've always said that you wanted to become.
Sweet boy. Good morning, sweet Jack. Good morning, sweet Molly. Good morning, my sweet girl.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shyla. How do we feel about this setup? I'm like so excited because I've been in my wellness era, if you will, for like the longest time now. And I want to break down the topic of wellness and this whole wellness era to one, get a kind of better, like full bird's eye view understanding of the topic aside from the version of wellness that we know of matcha lattes and Pilates. We as a society don't really talk about like what it actually is, like aside from the romanticized version that much, and like how to attain it and like what it means to be in your wellness phase, in your wellness era. Like what does it mean when you're there and like what does it bring you? Let me tell you, understand the difference between wellness and well-being. Wellness is going to be like your intention and your activity, the practice behind like a habit, like a physical action that is going to lead to a state of well-being, which a state of well-being is going to be like your perception. How fulfilled are you? How happy are you? Like the question you can ask yourself when you're trying to understand kind of like where you're at in your like well-being state is, number one, are you surviving or thriving? Okay, and like you can be somewhere in the middle, that's fine. Number two, are you being reactive or are you being proactive? That is definitely going to be your key indicator, I think, to understanding kind of where you're at in this like wellness continuum, right? Another thing that's really important to remember when talking about wellness is that it's multidimensional, right? So you could be very healthy and still be unhappy, or you could be very unhealthy and still be happy. So like there is a dimension of mental health to it, to physical health to it. Actually, there are usually quite a few categories contributing to the wellness as a whole topic. You have physical, you have mental, you have environmental, you have social. All of these are going to contribute to each other. They're going to build off each other. So how have we come now to the idea of like matcha lattes and Pilates being our idea of wellness? Let me tell you, it has become a way to make rituals and practices and systems and habits into a very human way so that we can live out these practices that are going to lead us to the state of well-being through actions that make us happy and give us like sort of instant gratification, but also lead us to this like state of well-being. Even though there is a trendy version of wellness, there is also obviously a deeply layered, multi-dimensional topic of wellness that it's good to at least acknowledge and understand whenever you're entering into your wellness phase, right? So like, okay, I'm just gonna grab my notebook. So as I said, there are multiple categories of wellness, and because they all kind of contribute to each other, it is important to find a little bit of balance and consistency and specific actions that are associated with each of these categories for yourself. And under each of these categories, I have different activities that make me feel the closest to fulfilled within that category. And whenever I feel like I'm not doing well, I'm not thriving, I'm being reactive in life, I look at these and I'm like, okay, which category do I feel like I'm being reactive in and like not okay in? I look at that and I look at the actions, the task list. Okay, where can I start? If it's doing one thing today that will help me feel like that category is being a little bit tended to, that's enough. Okay, that is enough. And while one person may like matcha lattes because matcha has a lot of health benefits and it's aesthetically pleasing and cute and achievable for this person to do in a certain day, another person might take a multivitamin and that works just as well in a different way for them, like gives you a similar result in the end. So like remember, everything is all customizable and totally up to you. Why is it so important to get to this idolized state of well-being? When you're getting into a state of being proactive, what kind of opportunities have opened up for you now? What kind of life would that look like if you're ahead of the game? And then whenever things happen in life, as they do, right? You're in a place where you're more likely to be more resilient. And then whenever things aren't being thrown at you, when life isn't throwing you curveballs, what are you doing then? You're probably building the life that you envision in your head, that you've dreamed of once, that you once thought wasn't realistic because you weren't the person that you thought you could be. Through wellness practices, you're showing up every day as the person that you've always said that you wanted to become, right? Oh, I love that. I kind of started this out as like a self-love, self-care, self-help, self-discipline, whatever. And I mean, to me, that all contributes also to my personal idea of wellness. But like when I started this whole, I think, journey, I did not love myself and I was not taking very good care of myself either. But I thought one day I would be able to love myself. And what I did is take an action more often than not that said, I don't love myself yet, but like I will love myself. So to become someone that loved myself, I had to start acting like I love myself every single day. And somewhere along the way, hello self-love, right? I basically picked one practice that fell under one category and tried to do that more often. Set yourself up for the physical activity. You do the physical activity and like you understand what it means to you. What does it mean? It's not about the matcha latte, right? It's about what it means, what the intention is, what it says about you, what it, like what does it reflect? Yeah. When you start, maybe it's small and maybe it's aesthetic. And once you build trust and confidence in yourself that you're gonna do that activity every single time and every single day, day in and day out, or at least most of the time, you can add on more and more and more things. And eventually, because it's all layered and all contributes to each other, you start to just one day feel like you're good, okay? This also reminds me of a quote from John Green in the book A Fault in Our Stars. So which seems like a random reference, but bear with me. He says in the book, I fell in love with you like how you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. That is how I feel personally about the difference between when I wasn't okay and when I was, and when I didn't love myself and when I did, and when I wasn't well and when I was well. And I do not mean that you're always happy and that you're always good and that you're always super well. It's more about, again, being in a proactive versus reactive state, even when things happen. On top of that, I want to introduce the idea that no matter where you are in your wellness journey, you need to take investment time. When I heard this quote, it changed my life, okay? Don't use the weekends to escape the life you have. Use the weekends to build and create the life you want. Okay. Sunday resets, let me tell you, I'm not even talking about every Sunday, the full day you need to do this like deep cleaning and like get out the duster swifter and the mop. No, I mean, maybe for your monthly reset. Just kidding. Don't overwhelm yourself is my point. Wherever you need to start there, but like you could take, for example, one Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I do my skincare. What is the intention behind my skincare? To do an action that shows me taking care of myself. Okay, it's like I meal prep because I am gonna be proactive about my nutrition game because I've been saying that I wanted to. So like I keep seeing this person I want to become, but I'm going to show up as this person today. I'm going to take this opportunity on Sunday. And personally, side note, as someone who experiences a lot of anxiety and has Sunday scaries, hello, taking action on Sundays has been a way for me to redirect this anxious energy into something that gives me empowerment, right? Gives me a tool, gives me opportunities to make the resistance of doing this habit or action this much easier. Okay, so Sunday resets are a tool. That is my point. So where can you start on Sundays? Okay. Personally, they look different for me a lot of Sundays. Some Sundays, if I've identified, look, my mental health is not on point, where do I turn to? Being creative, creating a therapeutic space, nervous system regulation practices, social interactions, soft life. Some Sundays I spend cleaning because it supports a clearer mind. Some Sundays I spend meal prepping or biking or walking or talking or baking. It depends, and it's all okay and it's all good, and guess what? It's all wellness practices that is gonna lead me closer to the state of well-being, to the state of being proactive, to the state of thriving. Okay? Anybody can start practicing wellness, and eventually you will get to your state of well-being, and it is a constant kind of maintaining upkeep, which you're gonna have to do and reevaluate and readjust. And that is one, the reality to wellness and your well-being, but two, it's also like the art. To me anyways, it's an art, and it's once you get to a place where you're more often in a state of well-being than not, even when things happen, you're still okay and you're still fulfilled and you're still all of these great things. That is the beauty of it. And then when things are aligning for you and you have the space to make something that you have to do anyways just beautiful, where it makes you want to do it anyways, like the matcha lattes that I brought up 20 times in this video, then you do that. Like, it's so up to you, and you can glow and shine and thrive in any way that you want to. And like, it is a beautiful journey to start and to be on, and I love talking about this topic. So if you want to start your wellness journey, or if you have and this has brought something new to you, a new perspective, or something resonated with you, please let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe because it really supports my channel, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Talk to you then.